Hey, welcome back to What Elon Said. Today is March 8th, Tuesday, March 8th, 2022. Today on Twitter, Elon has not been too active, but we do have a few posts to discuss here for you. Get you on your way after that. First off, SpaceX has announced the official launch time that they're targeting Wednesday, March 9th, which is tomorrow in our time, for the Falcon 9. This is, they've had so many Starlink launches this year. It's amazing. I think this is the fourth Starlink launch this year. So they're doing that tomorrow from Florida. Should be exciting to see. And then Elon responded just that another Starlink launch tomorrow. The Starlink has been a highlight for the first 2 months of the year. I think that's been the focus of their launches. And just out of curiosity, I was looking at what's coming up. And they have a really interesting launch coming at the end of March, or at least scheduled for March 30th. It's called the Axiom Mission 1. I don't know if you've heard of this, but they're having so that is a private launch that that SpaceX was hired to bring 4 people to the International Space Station. They're staying there for 8 days. It's the first fully private launch to the space station with a private company, bring 4 private people up there, and they're staying. So literally it's a space tourism mission. One person from Canada, 2 from the USA, including the commander. And
wait, these are not astronauts? These are
the commander is an astronaut. Yep, the commander is a veteran astronaut from former space shuttle missions. But the other 3 are private people. One's a pilot who became a businessman, I think, and the other 2 are just businessmen. One's from Canada, and runs a finance company, and another is from Israel.
Wow.
Initially,
what are they going to do up there?
I don't know. They're who knows? Fake.
They're the test themselves.
They'll test themselves. There's some research in some way, but they're paying a lot of money to go up, basically. So I'm sure they're funding SpaceX and NASA. But initially, this mission was supposed to be Tom Cruise and the director of a movie he's going to be in. And Tom Cruise is going up next year, I think.
Okay.
But their ultimate plan, this company's ultimate plan, is to have their own section of the space station that they'll put on just for space tourism. And I think there's another 2 missions this year planned by this company. Meanwhile, so that's 4 people. They'll be there for 8 days. Meanwhile, just 2 weeks later, SpaceX is launching their 4th mission of bringing astronauts to the space station. So they're having 2-man crews within a month, which is really exciting to see the man crews going back up.
On their trampolines and broomsticks.
That's right, on the trampolines and broomsticks. And also, outside of SpaceX, exciting is that the Artemis and all the moon launches, the big testing is starting in the next 2 months, within the next 2 months. So a lot of activity with planned manned space flight is happening in the next couple of months.
Yeah, and then when was the one with Jared Isaacman scheduled?
That's not planned till later this year, I think.
What was that called? Protera or?
Yeah. That's not right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to happen. But I think that's that's planned for the second half of this year at the earliest, I think.
Yeah. Wow. So I don't know what's more exciting right now, SpaceX or Tesla, and that's not even mentioning Neuralink or Boring Company, which are both have really exciting things going on. But the pace at which they're making headlines, I'm not sure if it's Tesla or SpaceX. If you were going to prioritize one to just dedicate your time and research to, which one would you choose?
At this point, I'd choose SpaceX because it's we're actually seeing it happen. Tesla has a lot of cool things happening, but it's all in the AI and it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it'll happen in a couple of months, maybe 10 years. I don't know. But SpaceX is actually having people going into orbit. It's like more and more and more and more. It just seems to be the pace is picking up. SpaceX, of course, has new plants for production of cars, which is amazing.
Yeah,
Tesla.
yeah,
Yes.
the new plants, the the number of cars on the road will continue to increase. I think FSD is the big story there, and then probably once they have a full prototype of the bot, then it'll really catch up with competition to the the pace of innovation, I'd say, compared to SpaceX,
Yes.
right?
And
Or just the exciting headlines coming out.
and I'd say, I know we're going way off topic here, but I'd say that for me, in ways more exciting than Tesla in a weird way, sounds boring, is the Boring Company. I just think that's
So
going
much
to have the biggest
opportunity.
impact. Yeah, it's just once that gets going, it really could have drastic impacts on the landscape of the country.
Yeah.
Um,
For the better, right? I mean,
for the
getting
better.
cars off the road and
Yeah, and
um,
faster commutes.
yeah. Yeah, gosh, I don't know how that'll play out. I mean, I know just being married to someone who is pretty deathly afraid of tunnels. I'm not sure that there'll be like a huge demand to want to, I get the whole idea of getting cars off the road and making transportation more efficient. And
Yeah,
once there's robo taxis, then it'll probably be needed, really. In fact, it's
yeah,
probably needed now, but the mental block that some people have with in terms of like enclosed spaces, that'll be hard for some
yeah.
people to get around.
That is true. That is true. That's true.
But
So we'll
exciting
see.
futures for all of them, and SpaceX definitely probably leading the way with number of headlines out of the
Oh
four
yes.
companies right now. Yeah. So next up here, we have a reply that just came in like 24 minutes ago. We got Mark Andreessen saying the plan, ESG or environmental social governance funds, will invest in defense companies to make the weapons required to fight wars with hostile regimes we buy energy from, because ESG funds won't invest in energy companies. And then we have Elon saying ESG rules have been twisted to insanity.
It really
Right?
is
There's
amazing.
a quote here from City Analyst about adding defense to ESG and EU's social taxonomy. So it's an interesting idea, I guess, to loop in defense. I mean, I guess I would say that most of the things that ESG is focused on sort of works to establish a defense without a real like military defense focus.
Yeah, and it's such a broad term, defense. Does that mean preparing against a famine? Does that mean preparing against? It could mean anything.
Yeah. So an interesting idea there. We'll see how that develops going forward. I think the whole idea of ESG is to make the world a better, more peaceful place for everybody in it. And in which case you really wouldn't even need defense, right? Because
That's right.
we'd all be living in unity.
See how
But
that
yeah,
develops.
I guess Elon's response here is sort of related to his takes on a few different things, right? But like his thought that concepts are good until we like go so strong into them. Like for example, environmentalism is good and still until it starts getting like twisted and people start getting so evangelical about it that it's not even rational anymore.
That's right. It becomes the way that I think the European Union classified, or Germany said that coal is better than nuclear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a number of examples, but I think that's just a general hot take of Elon's. We'll jump over to the likes here. Just a few. I know we missed this one yesterday, but SpaceX on track for the fourth Starlink launch in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks.
Yes.
Jeez, man, they are just really moving, and the visuals that are being captured of this period of time, these launches, is really impressive too. Always exciting to
Yes.
watch.
And here we have a just a fun one that Elon liked, that from Science Girl, that equations that change the world. Do you have a favorite equation? These are 17 equations that changed it. I looked at this briefly in my scientific mind. My favorite equation was the first one of Pythagoras' theorem, because it was very easy to understand when I was in school.
Yes. And apparently timeless, going back to 530 BC.
Yes.
Yeah. You got to love the law of gravity there. That one,
Yep.
that one sticks out. And calculus, I guess was not aware that calculus just breaks down to a single equation, or maybe this is just
realize it either.
related to calculus. But Newton in there with 2. He's the only one with 2 on there. Although I think we mentioned it in our last episode that I think it's debated that, was it Leibniz that also created calculus at the same time, separately.
Interesting.
Interesting. And Science Girl, of course, pointing out a typo. So
it's outrageous.
Making sure that that's clear. But yeah, yes. Elon like that. I wonder how many of those that he knows by heart, if any.
Yes.
We have a few cool shots of Starship here, full stack.
Super heavy. Yeah. So very nice. Seeing the full stack, ready for that. Yeah. Now we're just waiting for the launch. It looks like we're always looking at a lot of pictures of it's just sitting there waiting.
Yeah,
waiting.
I'm not sure that it's still like totally stacked like that.
I don't know.
I think they took it down. But really interesting terrain of the Boca Chica environment here. It's very
just pure marsh,
like swampy, marshy.
Yep.
Cool. All right, what do we got here? Trung Phan.
Yeah, Trung Phan. We have so this is from a couple of years ago, 2014. How Elon was timely post for now, saying that we're paying $70 million per seat to the Russians just to go to the International Space Station. So at that time, Space Shuttle ended as a program. We were fully dependent on them to launch us up there, which everyone thought was insane. How we got to that point. And Elon was talking about how we can't be at Putin's mercy, and we need to restore America's ability to transport astronauts. Thank God he did, because otherwise we'd have a lot of astronauts stuck on the space station right now.
That's right. I don't think there'd be much of a willingness from the Russian Roscosmos to get him out of there, right?
That's right.
Probably not very. It could almost be used as like a, I don't know, like a political positioning or something, right? Like you have people stuck up there, you need to get them down, so you better not get in our way.
It would have been bad.
Yeah. But a cool little snippet of Elon's thoughts from 2014 there. Next up, we have Tim Urban with an interesting table here, an interesting graph, timeline of technology adoption in US households through 1915 through 1950. Must have been almost as crazy as living through the last 35 years. So here, just really, it actually dates back to 1860. We got going all the way back to flushing toilets. And it just shows the percent of households using these technologies or adopting them or having them in their household. And a lot of things that we just completely take for granted that, 150, 200 years ago just were unfathomable, really.
Yes. I love the first comment from Tim Bob saying, very interesting data, though I couldn't think of a worse way to label this graph if I tried. And I completely agree with him. It's awful. Like, what was this person thinking?
Yeah. There's just too much going on here. It looks like a bunch of spaghetti thrown on
and all
plate.
The colors are the same. Like, that's terrible. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Tim made this source Komen and Hub.
That says it's from One World, our World in Data. So
yeah. So but interesting to think about, right? Always the things that we just completely take for granted, and really like how much will the world change in the next given pace of innovation, how much it's increasing just the next decade, right? But
Yes.
let alone the next 100 years of looking at a table like this.
Yes.
It could be space flight to the moon or to Mars. FSD hopefully will be on there as well.
That would be good. Here we have just a continuation from yesterday. Hiro Mizuno, who was a representative from Japan, at least at the time. I think now maybe just, Elon someone commented on Gail said that he went to Japan after the Fukushima disaster and gave them a generous donation. It was just another thank you from him that Elon liked. Not too much more.
And reference to the TV show that he appeared on that I mentioned.
There you go. Yes.
I think it was a game show maybe, but nice. Some respect there from Hiro Mizuno. And lastly, we got Tesla Silicon Valley Club with a cool video of the Model X Plaid destroying the Lamborghini Huracan EVO, even after giving it a small head start. And it's just a cool 30-minute clip of the Model X Plaid, an SUV destroying a Lamborghini on a test track.
Wow. 30 minutes.
Giving it.
That's a long time.
What? 30 minutes?
You
Did I say?
30...
Oh, no, it's 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
30 seconds. Yeah. If that. It's just a clip. I
Um,
would pull it up, but it's extremely loud. The Lamborghini is making a lot of noise in this video clip.
That's just another, just always amazing to see those. How
totally. In fact, I started watching a few other ones because it's from this Drag Times handle here, and you got Lambo versus the Model X. Then you have a couple other ones.
Just a whole bunch.
Yeah.
That
cool.
Very cool. It just beats everything, and it's an SUV.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty, or a hatchback, I should say. Yes.
Well, look at that. We might as well just catch up on these two. So Elon's liked a couple more while we're here. So looks like another speed clip.
Yes. Yes. So just excited. This guy's seeing the takeoff of the Tesla's Plaid engine, it looks like.
Yeah. I love watching these clips of people experiencing the Plaid off the line starts.
It always looks
really
like
want
the
to
expression, when you're on a roller coaster and it starts just, that explosion part.
Yeah, exactly. And then we also have Teslarati. It's just related to the same tweet. So good thing we found him here. Model X Plaid misses launch against Lamborghini EVO, but still dominates. And it's a whole article devoted to that. So,
there you go. You can dig in if you want.
Pretty cool. Yeah, we'll put it in the description below. So
yes, indeed.
I appreciate everyone watching, and we'll be back tomorrow with more of what Elon said. And if you like the video, give it a like. And if not, well, thanks for watching anyway. And we will catch you next time.
Excellent. We'll see you then.
Bye.